October the 19th or 20th, I don't know. And the eryngiums here are still bluey purple in flower. And the garden, still growing. In fact, it's all been chopped down at the end of the season, the kind of wildlife garden season. And it's growing again. Normally, when you close the garden down, it doesn't grow until the following spring, as you would expect. It's all a bit weird and quite scary. I'm quite worried that the solitary bees are going to come out, because it's, and I'm not kidding, maybe 24 degrees today. And there's a lot of you who aren't my age, so you're probably a lot younger. And you won't remember what it used to be like. And even when I was young, it was still changed. You know, if you look at the science behind it and the history, things have changed since the Industrial Revolution in the 19th century. But even I remember a you know, pretty regular cycle where you'd have the seasons. Now it's just, everything's just in disarray. And after the UN announcement last week from those 6,000 scientists that we have perhaps 12 years to limit the average global temperature to 2 degrees higher than it should be, or I think that 2 degrees figure is based on the Industrial Revolution as well. You know, if we don't do it in 12 years, it's going to be catastrophe. And quite what that means, I don't know, because for a scientist to use such a word is quite scary, because they normally, you know, hedge their bets and err on the side of caution, and I think we're heading to 3 to 4, you know, degrees within 12 years personally, because of exponentialism, which is basically, you know, things double every couple of years. I mean, when these scientists revise their figures, they're always bringing these dates forward. And what you thought would be 30 years is then 20, and then they do it again, they revise it again to 10, and because that curve on the graph goes up exponentially, and I think that's what we're dealing with here, and it's very, very scary. And it's your lives, it's my life, it's your life too. So anyone who tells you any different, that it's a load of rubbish, or who are you going to listen to? 6,000 PhD scientists who are on 30,000 a year? Or Mr. Trump, a billionaire who's near the end of his life and doesn't give a flying F about anything than power, a sociopath. And people like him, big business owners, there's a bee. He shouldn't be out. That's a carder bee. That bee should not be there. It could be a late worker, but end of October? I don't know. Quite scary. So anyway, we'll do a lighter thing, because I don't want to make everyone miserable. I offset the deck, by the way. If you're looking at a new deck and going, well, you just built a new deck. Well, I did. I needed it in order for my plans, which I'll cross in a future episode. But I did pay about £50 to offset the carbon. All this wood is FSC, Forestry Commission wood, so they plant 3 trees for every one. But, you know, what can you do? But I do also offset the build for 50 quid, which is half an acre. It's not perfect. Offsetting itself isn't perfect, but that's all we've got at the moment. So use it. Go to the World Land Trust and offset your, you know, I drove to Wales, 600 miles there and back, and it was £2.58, I think, to offset the petrol. It's nothing, or the gas if you're in America. It was nothing. And that offset all of that fuel used, you know. The grass is coming up here, isn't it? That looks good. I've just seeded it just to get that bank stabilised here. And I did the same up the top here. But this isn't the reason for this video. I just wanted to show you a new habitat I made for the gentleman, the really convoluted habitat I made a couple of months ago that was really nice with the flowery pattern over the top. He wanted one for his mum's birthday, so I've made him one. Hello, James, if you're listening. So really, I just wanted to show you that, because it's kind of like this one over here, which has been really, really successful. This the Japanese kind of pagoda type, or whatever you call it, inverted building type style one, which has been really good. You can see all the holes there. have been used. A lot of the holes have been used because it's got that, as it descends, it recedes back, so it's got good shelter from above each level. I got a horrible feeling I saw a solitary bee coming out of it then. I hope not. So with that in mind, and I have been harping on about using oak because they love hardwood solitary bees, any hard knots, and we've mentioned this before, anything really tight grained, and hardwood oaks, things like that, they would love. So I bought a bit of recycled oak for James's habitat, and using that style I've made this little guy here. So let's have a look here. This looks really lovely. I think it's come out beautiful, and because it's oak, I've cleaned it all up and then used sesame oil on it just to give it a nice kind of finish, and just stained the top and the back. As you can see, it kind of has that thing where it, as it goes down, it kicks back a bit to give the bees some shelter, and then I've just put a support in at the back, as you can see there. I think it's come out really lovely and beautiful colour, and that's all recycled oak. Let's get that focused. There we go. I hope you'll be pleased with it. It's taken a lot longer than I thought because I burned through 6 drills with oak. It's one thing to remember, any hardwood. I think technically oak isn't a hardwood. I think someone might correct me here. I don't think it is technically a hardwood, but it's certainly tight, really tight grained, and it lasts for eons, which is why the bees probably like it, and it's less susceptible to soaking up water and making the habitats wet, which is why the solitary bees really like it. But consequently, drilling those, and there's only 70 holes, but that took a couple of hours of drilling, and I think 4 drills and then 2 tap drills that I used first of all, so 6 drills that burnt through, tungsten tip drills. Not good, but hey ho. It did turn out well. Took a bit longer than expected, but I'm really pleased with it. James won't see this video until after he's got it, so hopefully he and his wife and his mum, who this is for, will really like it. So thanks for watching. Remember the World Land Trust. You know, even this video, when I get remonetized, that money does go to the World Land Trust, but that's by the by at the moment because it's a bit more desperate. If you care about your home, your planet, and I'm not being judgmental here because it is easy, ignorance is bliss, and even I like turning off sometimes, but the fact is we're all on the same bit of rock flying through space, and that bit of rock is losing its ability to sustain life, and it is that serious. Start listening to the scientists. When they say catastrophe in 12 years, prick your ears up, because you know we're in trouble. But let's see if we can't change it. And you can start by offsetting and buying and protecting land that is already there. So cheers guys, thanks for watching, and I'll speak to you soon. Ta-da.